Hey guys, what's up? It's Claudio here, and today I wanted to make a video on how to prepare your taxes as a musician or independent artist. I've gotten a lot of questions about this topic, and it's taken me years to understand how to approach tax season as a working musician and business owner. As someone that's self-employed, you're technically a business owner. You're a sole proprietor, which means you are a person who is the exclusive owner of a business. You're entitled to the profits, but you're also liable for all the losses. So it's important to develop that business mindset. I'll go over deductions, business expenses, estimated tax payments, tax brackets, 1099s, and a few other topics. The first thing you should do is hire a CPA, a certified public accountant. I'm not a tax professional, so anything I say is just casual advice. A good CPA will maximize your refund or minimize your taxes owed, so save yourself the headache and invest in someone. My CPA specializes in musician taxes. He's great and he's based in New York. I'll link him down below. When I was younger, I wondered why I should even pay taxes. It was hard enough trying to make money as a musician. All the gigs I played were under $100 and paid in cash. I also had a solid teaching job to pay the bills, so why not just stay on the DL about my musician income? It's a good question, and many people live off their cash, but that has limitations. What if one day you want to buy or even rent a house or an apartment? You're going to have to show proof of income. Or if you ever want to start your own business and take out a loan, you're going to run into the same problem. You have to prove that you can make a living as a working musician or artist, and the more money you claim every year, the more you can reinvest into your art and grow your business to reach higher levels of income. Let me explain that and talk about investing for a moment. Okay, so the thing about investing is you want to invest. You want to invest in the things like equipment, gear, advertising, lessons, maybe camera equipment. Okay, and in turn, what happens is you get a better product with more value. And it doesn't just have to be these material things. It can also be you can invest time. Very important. Okay, now you have a better product, and as a result, two things happen. One, you start to get recognized, and also you build more confidence. Very important. As a result of that, you get more gigs, more quality gigs. From there, obviously, you'll make more money, which then you can reinvest into equipment, gear, lessons, advertising, cameras, time to get a better product with more value, which will give you more confidence, get recognized. You'll get more gigs, more quality gigs, which means more money, and then you can reinvest, and you'll see the cycle continues. You also get higher salary. Now, how is this relevant to taxes? Because a lot of what you invest into your business is tax deductible, which means it will lower your taxes. So let's talk about tax deductions. These are things that you spend money on that directly contribute to you being a professional musician or working artist. Instruments, gear, computers, recording costs, as well as office supplies, business cards, websites, all that stuff. My CPA has this worksheet he asks everyone to fill out before seeing him. I'll link it in the description. Okay, so one thing to remember is that taxes are something you need to think about all year round, not just a few months before they're due. In fact, if you're self-employed, you should technically be making estimated quarterly payments throughout the year. Okay, this is the worksheet. As you can see, a lot of things can be claimed as a business expense. Advertising, audition expenses, bank fees, demos, recording copies, insurance, music books, office supplies, parking, stage wardrobe, piano tuning, repairs, equipment maintenance. Okay, so what I did was I created my own Excel worksheet with these categories, and anytime I spent any money in these areas, I logged it. This worksheet stays open on my desktop all year round, and I'm constantly updating it. I made this one just as a demo for this video. So let's go over a few of these things. Advertising, Facebook ads, YouTube promotion, business cards, you would write that down here. Website and services, domain registration for your business. That's a good one here. Any kind of rentals. For example, we rented a Canon lens for a photo shoot and an extra subwoofer for a gig. Bank fees. Bank fees for your business account only will go here. These are all yearly. Let's see, stage wardrobe, only wardrobe that you wear exclusively for gigs. Internet. This was my home internet. I took a 50% deduction. That means that about half the time that I use the internet, it was for work purposes. Any equipment over $500 goes in a separate category. So some speakers, a mixer, a camera if you're a photographer, that would all go here. Phone, I took a 60% deduction. That means that 60% of the time that I picked up the phone or used it for anything, it was business related. Parking's tax deductible. Cabs, to and from gigs, tax deductible. Any kind of software for professional use, that would go here. Supplies, random supplies like little cables, microphones here and there, I would add those up here. At the end of the year, you take this and you auto sum it, and you get a total for that category. Any musical instruments, okay? Obviously, that's a big deduction, and you can use a method called depreciation. I'll talk about that in a minute. Instrument insurance, anything you do to enhance your professional development, classes, music lessons, that's all tax deductible. Hair and makeup, so this is any kind of personal grooming specifically for a gig, for example, right before a big photo shoot or right before a big production where you're going to be on stage. Some things like musical instruments can be deducted using a method called depreciation. The IRS lets you deduct the entire cost at once or spread it out over a period of 7 years. If you're just starting out and expect low income during the first few years, it might be wasteful to deduct the entire cost at once, so depreciation might be the way to go. Talk to your CPA about this since they're the experts. Let's talk about your car's gas mileage. The IRS lets you deduct 54 cents per mile driven to and from gigs. In 2017, it's going to be 53.5 cents per mile. They're really particular about how you log your miles, so you're going to have to keep track carefully. What I do is I Google map every venue I drive to and figure out the round trip distance. Then I use this app called MEL, I think stands for Mileage Expense Log, and I put in all the details, location, which car I'm using, the amount of miles, and there's also space here for your tolls, very convenient. At the end of the year, I can export this whole thing into an Excel worksheet and it'll calculate how much I can deduct for my car's gas mileage. Very convenient app, highly recommend it to stay organized. On a side note, make sure you keep all your receipts stored and organized for at least 2 years in case you get audited by the IRS. You should know that the IRS works in a 2-year delay, which means that you won't get audited for 2016 taxes until 2018. That's just how they work, so don't think you're in the clear if you don't get audited right after tax season for that year. A 1099 is a tax form that reports how much money someone makes that year and does not take out taxes. So the person receiving it is responsible for calculating and paying the taxes on their own. If you work as a sideman, you'll probably receive several, if not many, 1099s from the different band leaders and businesses that you played for. Many freelance musicians are classified as independent contractors and are responsible for paying taxes on their own, as opposed to an employee position where the employer takes out taxes on every paycheck. For example, if you play in a full-time professional orchestra. If you're a band leader and business owner, you only need to issue a 1099 to your band members if you paid them more than $600 that tax year. A really easy way to fill out and submit 1099s is through efilemytaxes.com. It's really quick, and for a few dollars per form, they will mail out the 1099s to all the recipients. You're expected to collect sales tax on any transaction that involves tangible goods. If you sell CDs and merchandise at a gig, you'll need to collect sales tax. The same goes for photographs and artwork. Music services such as performances are not considered tangible goods, so you don't need to collect sales tax for that. For photographers, if you deliver the photos electronically over the web, you don't need sales tax for that. Where if you physically deliver them via a hard drive or a CD, you'll need to collect sales tax. Check with your state since these guidelines may vary. For 2016, the self-employment tax is 15.3%. That's 12.4% for Social Security plus 2.9% for Medicare. Then we get taxed again depending on what tax bracket we fall under. Here are the tax brackets for 2016. Okay, so because we don't get taxes taken out of our paychecks, paying our taxes all at once can be kind of painful. What I suggest is have a separate savings account where you put aside anywhere between 25 to 40% of every paycheck, depending on your tax bracket. If you fall on the higher ones, it's best if you make estimated quarterly payments to avoid fines from the IRS. Here are the deadlines for quarterly payments for 2017. Ask your CPA to help you calculate these, and if you overestimate, you'll simply get a refund. I'll link below where you can make payments to the IRS. And don't forget, you still need to pay state taxes. I'll link that below as well. So all in all, we're being taxed pretty heavily for being self-employed. If you fall in that second tax bracket, you're looking at 27% taxes, plus an additional $600 to $700 for New York state tax. I know that's a lot of information to take in, especially if you're new to this. Remember that it's common to file at a loss during the first few years of starting a business or being self-employed. That just means that your expenses and deductions were greater than the amount you earned. And it's okay if you were investing back into your business a lot. I didn't have any real profits during the first 3 to 4 years of working as a band leader. I made money, but I completely reinvested all my earnings back into the band so I could grow it more quickly. Back then I had plenty of work teaching music lessons, so it was easy for me to reinvest so aggressively. Whether you're a band leader, sideman, or independent artist, remember the importance of investing in yourself. If you're confident and have a passion for what you do, it will pay off. So I hope this video was helpful. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them down below. And if you'd like to see more content like this geared towards creative entrepreneurs, hit that subscribe button. In the meantime, happy tax season.